This might offend some people, but if you're running a business in 2023 and not using virtual assistants, you might not be that good at business. You might think I'm crazy, but listen to the rest of this video before making your final decision. And make sure to stay until the end where I explain literally exactly where I think you should start if you're thinking about getting your first VA. The use of virtual assistants or VAs has been on the rise ever since the release of a book called 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. In this book, he explains how you can start and scale a virtual business by outsourcing the labor to lower cost parts of the country or world so you can travel, explore, or maybe enjoy your life more with your business. It's pretty easy. Hire some VAs, tell them what to do, you kick back on the beach, and they just make you money. It would be nice if it were that easy, and while it's not that easy, the concept and evolution of remote work that had been written originally changed the way that people run their business for people like me and you. For example, in our company, we have 8 VAs who do all types of work and run the business on the back end. Of course, it would be possible to do this with American workers, but it would be way more expensive and, to be honest, way more annoying. So in this video, we're covering exactly what VAs can do in your business, what I think they can start doing if you're a complete beginner, and also break down how I started with VAs and scaled them into business going from 1 to 8. Specifically, in this video, we're talking about the virtual assistants in the Philippines making anywhere from $4 to $9 an hour. So without any further ado, let's jump in. Here are some of the tasks VAs either currently help us with or have helped us with in the past. First, finding and analyzing properties for us, but also the newsletter we send. If you aren't subscribed yet, we send out deals every day for free, link in bio or link below if you want to get them. Second thing, property management. VAs can handle 100% of guest management for Airbnbs or regular rentals. This includes vendor management and all the other things that go along with it. And this can help you take back a big expense in your business of 20 to 30%, which is what most property management companies charge. Next, content creation and content management. What does this actually mean? It means they can help create content across all your social media platforms. They can edit podcasts and YouTube videos and even ghostwrite all of your content, including a video just like this. Next, ghostwriting. They can write your tweets, your LinkedIn posts, your blogs, all things for your website and any written content. This includes all research as well. Pair a trained VA with ChatGPT and I can assure you they are going to come up with something better than you most likely. Now for some of the fun but more traditional roles. Things like email management. Guys, I literally spend 0 minutes a week in my email. And according to Statista, in 2022, the average person spends 172 minutes daily on email. Like, what is that? Next, calendar management. This is another great one. Anytime you get a meeting request on a platform, you can have your VA help schedule that appointment if you want, or they can most likely even handle the request before you need to have a meeting. Next, researching and booking your travel. This takes so much time, but can be 100% outsourced, or at least the majority of the planning and research. You can just jump back in at the end when you want to pay on your credit card or review whatever the person has helped organize for you. I want to show you a few personal examples of how it works in our business. First, Airbnb property management. VAs manage my Airbnbs, mainly for savings, but also just because it makes us more efficient, and I think we can do a better job than most big box property management companies because we develop systems. For my properties, VAs handle all guest communication and inquiries, price management and calendar management, helping with claims or guest damages, and lastly, working with vendors on repairs or day-to-day things that come up in the business. And yes, there will be times when I am brought in to help with things, but with proper training, you can templatize and automate a lot of this so you don't have to be in the day-to-day. And you could have guessed, email and calendar, that's another big one for me. Guys, I mentioned the stat above, but most people spend an absurd amount of time in email. I heard a quote once I think you guys might like. If you use your inbox as a to-do list, you're letting the entire world of strangers plan and decide what you should be doing for your entire life. Here's how we do it. I don't check email at all, not 1 minute per day. My assistant has access to my email and triages inbound emails into 4 folders for me and 1 for her. Here's what they look like. There's the John Action folder, there's a pending folder, there's a reference later folder, a John Read later folder, and then there's a folder for her called her working folder. For any item that ends up in the working folder, the tasks get added to Notion so it can be worked there and where we can control the workflow and get everyone involved who needs to be. If it's an item we have dealt with before, she can just respond on my behalf. Most emails are repetitive, so once you have a template or an SOP on how to handle it, it pretty much goes on autopilot. And if this sounds crazy to you, start this way. Record Loom screen share videos of you handling and sorting your own email so you can define the process and give it to someone else. Then when they start doing it, instead of them sending emails on your behalf, have them write all the replies as a draft and then meet with that person once or twice per week to review the drafts and coach them on any changes you would have made. It might sound a little annoying, but what's worse, spending 4 hours per day dealing with email or 30 minutes a week training or managing someone else on how to get it off your plate completely? And lastly, video editing or podcast editing. This video you are watching right now, this second, is being edited by one of our incredible team members far, far away from the US. For many of you guys, the content creation process or content creation may fall into the bucket of things you know you should be doing, but you aren't currently. And whether you love it or hate it, content creation is the future. If you don't have an online presence showing your skills, your past work, or your reputation, it just becomes harder and harder to do business in 2023 and future. Maybe I'm crazy, but I pretty much will not work with a vendor or a company who doesn't have some type of online presence. There's just too much unknown out there, and there's so many options of people who do have an online presence. I'd rather go with them. Starting a podcast or a YouTube channel are two of my favorite ways to create content right now because they're so highly leveraged and repurposable. Okay guys, two really important tips before we get out of here. One, if you're hiring a VA for something you've never done or you don't know how to do, you should buy them training. This can be books, courses, coaches, consultants, whatever. Have them then document or outline all the learning from that. So now your company owns the learning asset, but now this person you hired can absorb and start doing a process that you didn't know how to do yourself. One of the biggest mistakes I see people making is hiring VAs who don't have that much experience, not training them, and then being disappointed when the job isn't done how they expect. Like, dude, what do you expect? You set this person up to fail. They didn't know how to do it, and neither did you, so you couldn't manage them or train them. Next, you will always pay more for people who have experience, and you need to accept that. If someone has more experience, you might need to pay them $8 an hour instead of $5, but this could save you time on training or hand-holding or just frustration that that person could bring to you if they don't know how to do the thing that you want them to do. In our company, it's clearly understood. If we hire someone who's inexperienced but is the lower cost, we accept that we're gonna have to spend more time training and developing this person. And when they become skilled, we will now have that person in our company at a lower cost for hopefully a long time, but it will take them time to get to the place where they're an expert or they really know what they're doing. We just accept this. Okay, where I think you should start if you want to hire your first VA today. I hate to give this preface, but it really does depend what type of business or industry you're in. So depending on where you're at in life and business, here are my recommendations, and I'm going to break it down into 3 categories. Of course, there are more, but most people who follow me are probably interested in these 3. The first is Airbnb and real estate. If you have a property already, I would focus on hiring a VA to help with the day-to-day management and messaging of the property. I think this is one of the most time-consuming things for an owner, or most expensive things if a property manager is managing the property for you. Next, content. What I'm gonna say here sort of goes along with what I think right now are the best content platforms to post on. So I would hire a ghostwriter and post on Twitter and LinkedIn, because you can then repurpose that content onto LinkedIn, Facebook, or other places like TikTok or Instagram, and there's no additional cost. If you want to push it a little further, you can also hire a video or audio editor to help you focus on just filming more content. So you can just talk into a teleprompter like this, and then it can be edited and pushed out on all the platforms without you doing anything. Next, guys, life management. This should be the first for most people, but since we are a business channel, I had to put it last, I guess. Life management includes anything from calendar management, email, booking travel, handling your DMs, a lot of the things that we talked about above. And it's very easy and straightforward, and most general VAs have training in these topics. So no matter what, you can probably train them to do this, but it can make a huge difference in your life. And you might not think you need someone for any of these things because they don't take you that much time. But guys, the way you should think about it is every minute that you are out of your business or doing something that isn't making you money, it's actually losing you money. So you could be making more money, generating leads or filming content, and not spend that time booking travel or handling your email. So there's a huge net positive when you can take that time back and use it to actually make money instead of spend time on things that don't make you money. So guys, start here. Let me know what questions you have. I'll be answering all of them in the comments. And that's pretty much it. If you haven't seen the overview video, it'll be linked somewhere on screen or below. Check it out. And if you aren't subscribed, make sure you are so you get notified when part 2 comes out. This is gonna be a 5-part series. We're gonna break down each of the 5 parts I think that are most important in depth. So you don't wanna miss that. Hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, and I will see you on the next one, guys. Be great.